So hello small groups. This week in Windsor we've been asking the question, we've been continuing the First Things First series and asking the question, am I generous? In Proverbs 22 verse 9 it says, he who is generous will be blessed, for he gives food to the poor. In Proverbs 11 it says, the merciful and the generous man benefits his heart. And I love this verse because it means that being generous is something that is active and it's alive. If it benefits my heart, then I want to be more generous. What we learn today is that being generous is more than just giving our tithes and our offerings. That is so important and we must do that. But being generous is something that is an attitude of the heart. It's forgiving people. It's not condemning. It's giving food to those in need. It's helping those who are weak. It's the giving of our time. In Luke chapter 6 verse 37 it says, do not judge and you will not be judged. Do not condemn and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven. And the very next verse, I'm sure you know it very well, it says, give and these will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over. You see, being generous is part of who we are as new creations, born again and becoming more like Jesus. We need to remember that all of our possessions, our money, our wealth, and even our time comes from God. All that we have, all of it comes from Him. We can never outgive God. God, can you remember the description of heaven in Revelation? It says that the streets are made of gold. That's amazing. God actually doesn't need our money. He wants your heart. He wants our heart. He wants my heart. He wants you. So we need to look at ways we can help the poor in spirit, those in need, and look at ways we can give our time to the church and to serve in the church. For those that are meeting as small groups this week, I have a couple of questions and some tasks that you may want to run through. The first is to read John chapter 12. Look at the two hearts that are described in this passage. The generous heart of Mary as she pours the oil, the very expensive oil, onto Jesus' feet. And then the selfish heart of Judas. He wanted to sell the perfume and he says give it to the money to the poor, but actually he had his hand in the offering basket. Then the second thing is to ask yourselves, ask each other, am I selfish in my time and how I give it to the church? Am I selfish in my attitudes to others? We're all in a battle between being selfish and being generous. It's a battle that generosity must win. Thirdly, ask yourselves, can I do more to serve, to give my time, to be generous with my time in church? Is there a way I can help in the welcome team? Can I serve on the tech team? Can I serve in the kids' work? Being generous with your time. Finally, it's coming up to Christmas and there's lots of ways we can impact our neighbours. And one of the ideas I have is to, and one idea actually we do regularly at home, is to have a sherry and mince pie evening and then invite all the neighbours, have an open house. Is there a way you can also serve your neighbours in maybe clearing up somebody's garden, helping somebody with their shopping?